Please be seated. Court's now in session. Turn off your cell phone.
You have the witness ready?
Yes, he's right outside.
Great.
Do you like me to re-swear him?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Officer Summers ready for the jurors.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah. Why do you need something?
Oh, sit down.
Sure.
Rise. Please be seated. Court is now in session. Turn off your cell phones, please.
Okay, if we could have the witness back, please. Take it down. You just watch this.
And if you could just raise your right hand, sir.
Please, clerk over on the right-hand side, please.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give to the court and the jury in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth shall be God?
Yes.
Thanks, sir. Would you step right up? You can have a seat. You do me a
Good
favor,
afternoon.
Just keep your voice when you speak. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Miss Beatty, if you're...
Good afternoon, sir. So I think when we left off, we were talking about your communications with Ms. McLean and Mr. Tuerk. Did you have both of their cell phone numbers in your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. Turning your attention to the end of 2019, the fall of 2019, would you communicate with both of them on your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any idea of how often you would communicate with Ms. McLean the fall into the winter of 2019?
I did more so with Katie than Harry.
Okay. So you sort of anticipated my next question. Do you have any idea during that time period, fall into winter of 2019, how often that would be?
I don't recall how often.
Okay. And in 2020, would you also communicate with both Ms. McLean and Mr. Tuerk?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And at a certain point in time, were you aware that Mr. Tuerk had left 29 Valley Road?
Yes.
And after he left 29 Valley Road, did you continue to communicate with Mr. Tuerk?
Yes, very little.
Okay. Did you communicate over text as well as voice calls?
I think more so by text.
All right. And did you continue to communicate with Ms. McLean over text and voice calls after Mr. Tuerk left the home?
Yes.
Okay. And would you see Ms. McLean in person?
I might have seen them in passing, but not, I don't think at their home.
Okay. And during that time period, during February, March, April, May of 2020, where were you living?
I was living at 85 Walpole Street.
And who were you living with at 85 Walpole Street, if anyone?
Myself and then when my kids came over.
Okay. Were you in a relationship with anyone during that time period?
I think so, yes.
Okay. When you say you think so, are you certain?
I'm not really certain of exact.
Exact time frames?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not exact time frame.
And have you been in a relationship for many years with one person?
Yes.
Okay. And can you ballpark say how many years that is?
13 years.
Okay. And have there been periods of separation in those 13 years?
Yes, a few. Yep.
And did you live together during those 13 years?
Yes, on and off. Yep.
Okay. In terms of being a patient or a client of Ms. McLean and Dr. Tuerk, did Dr. Tuerk ever provide any medical attention to you?
No.
All right. What about Ms. McLean? Were you ever a client of hers?
Yes, she did Reiki.
And had you had Reiki prior to meeting Ms. McLean?
No.
All right. How many times did Ms. McLean provide Reiki to you?
Once.
And where was that?
At their house.
And where in the house?
I think it might have been like the living room or something, or.
And do you know Vanessa Pettigrew?
About the what?
Do you know Vanessa Pettigrew?
Yes.
How do you know Vanessa Pettigrew?
Through Harry and Katie.
Do you know when you met her?
I don't know exactly when I met her.
Okay. In May of 2020, do you know how long you had known her? Whether it had been months or weeks or years?
Maybe a year and a half.
Okay.
Maybe.
And what did you understand her relationship to be to either Katie or Harry?
They were friends. She was friends of theirs.
And did you have an understanding about whether or not she was married?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And did you know her husband?
Yes.
And did you ever spend time with Vanessa and her husband and Katie and Harry?
Yes.
And did you have text or phone communication with Ms. Pettigrew?
Vanessa?
Yes, with Vanessa.
Yes.
Okay. Directing your attention to May 15th of 2020, Friday, May 15th, in the early morning hours, what, if anything, happened when you woke up that day?
I think that was when the text from Harry.
Okay. Do you recall the text that you received from Harry?
It was something about sorry. I think, sorry, brother. She was vindictive. I don't know it for word for word, but.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Can you take a look at what's been marked as exhibit number 1? Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, can exhibit number 1 be published on the screen, please, at this time?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, Ms. Gilman, if you could just move down and thank you. All right. Do you recognize what's in exhibit number 1?
Yes, I do.
What is this?
What is this?
Yes.
The text message from him.
Okay. Could you please read it aloud?
Curt, I am sorry, brother, but she is a vindictive devil. She played us all. I'm really sorry, brother, but she manipulated us all. Love you, Harry.
All right. Thank you. And did you respond to that text message?
Yes, I said, what happened?
And did you get a response to that?
No,
All right. And did you send another text message after that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. If you take that out of the sleeve and continue on.
If I do what?
If you just take the paper out of the sleeve. Is there another text message after that?
Yes.
What does it say?
It says, where are you, buddy?
Do you recall sending that text message?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. You can just put both those things down. Other than sending those text messages, what, if anything else, did you do on Friday, May 15th?
I think I forwarded that text message to Vanessa.
And why Vanessa?
I was probably guessing, would probably say that I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay. And did you ever get a response from Vanessa?
I don't recall.
Did you speak with Vanessa on the phone at all on Friday, May 15th?
I might have. I did not 100%.
Okay. And did you speak with anyone else on Friday, May 15th about that text message?
I think I eventually sent it to the police.
Okay. Did you ever speak to the police, either in person or on the telephone?
I think I did. It was brief on the phone and then in my driveway.
Okay. And when you say your driveway, is it fair to say that this was during 2020 and people weren't entering each other's homes as often?
Yes.
And does that make sense to you that that's why you were in your driveway?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And when you met with the police in their driveway, what was the purpose of that meeting?
The text message.
Okay. And did the police ask if they could perform an extraction of your cell phone?
Yes.
All right. And did they provide you with a consent form to sign in connection with that?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you a document that's entitled consent form. Do you recognize that form?
Yes.
And do you recognize your signature on that form?
Yes.
Did you sign that form?
Yes.
And is there a date on it?
Is there a what?
Is there a date on the bottom of the form?
5/15/20.
Okay. Your Honor, may that be marked as the next exhibit?
May be marked.
Exhibit 277.
All right. I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Back in 2019, that's when you first met Harry and Katie?
I'm not exactly sure exactly the time I met him.
Okay, was it in 2019?
Was it, excuse me?
2019?
I'm not 100% of the time that I met him. I met him at the Legion and we were drinking, so I
You remember what?
say again?
You remember what?
That I met him at the Legion,
Legion.
American Legion.
And you would socialize with each other, wouldn't you?
At the Legion?
All over the place. You guys were friendly, weren't you?
Yeah.
You were one of his best friends, weren't you?
I wasn't his best friend.
Oh, well, did you go over the house and hang out with him?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you.
Cigars, do you?
What?
You don't smoke cigars, do you?
No.
Did you go over his house and see that he would be sitting by the pool and he'd be smoking cigars and you'd have a beer or you'd have a drink with him?
Yeah?
On a number of occasions, right? You're nodding your head.
Yes.
Yes. And how would you describe your relationship with Harry?
I think we were friends.
Good friends. And you knew that he was a doctor working in Boston, right?
Yes.
You were also, were you good friends with Ms. McLean as well?
Yes.
In 2019, up until 2020, for example, did you know that Harry and Ms. McLean were going to get married in August of 2019?
Yeah, they talked about it, yes.
Right. And you know also that Harry didn't get married. He took it off. He canceled it, right?
I guess he did, yes.
I guess he did. You talked to him about it, didn't you?
I don't really recall our conversation.
You talked to Katie by text about it, didn't you?
Some, yes. I don't
She
recall.
was upset about that, wasn't she?
Yes.
And then as time went on, they ended up getting married again, or getting married, in December of 19, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Now, your telephone number back then, sir, was 617-201-4714. Is that correct? Yes? And that's the phone that you authorized the police to do a phone dump on, right?
Yep.
You knew that that meant that they were going to be able to use a particular computer-type program to access your phone and get text messages, videos, things of that nature, right?
Yes.
And you signed that form, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that they were interested in was whether or not you had communications with Kathleen McLean at 339-222-9407, right?
Yes.
And you remember that was her number, right? Yes?
Yes.
All right. And when you would go over to their house, would you stretch your memory and recall that in 2019, in the summertime, you had occasion to go over there a number of times, right?
I don't know how many times, but yes.
I'm not asking you how many times, obviously, but there were a number of times. You sit by the pool, right?
Yes.
Have a barbecue, right?
Yes.
It had a television set that was attached, and it also had the fire pit and everything else, right?
Yes.
Waterfall, right?
Yes.
Yes, and Harry built all those, didn't he?
Did he what?
Built all those.
Yes.
And when you were giving your phone to the police and they accessed your phone, sir, do you recall how many text messages between you and Miss McLean were on your phone when you gave it to the police?
I don't recall how many, but it was several.
Right. Certainly not in the hundreds, right? When you gave your phone to the police?
I have no idea how many.
So, Did you delete, sir, your texts between you and Kathleen McLean when you gave your phone, before you gave your phone to the police?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I
But
don't.
you knew that Kathleen McLean had been found dead, right?
Yes,
Yes? You knew that the police were investigating the homicide, right?
yes,
You had indicated to the police that she had given you, strike that, he had given you a text indicating that she was a devil, I'm sorry, things of that nature, correct? Calling you brother, right?
oh, you what?
Calling the text that he sent you, calling you brother and saying, sorry, she was a devil, she played us all. You remember that, right? So when you gave your phone to the police, you had that particular text that you gave them, right?
Yes,
And that was about it. It was on your phone. There weren't any other texts on your phone, were they? Between you and Katie.
I don't recall what I did.
Do you remember taking your phone and deleting the texts? Hundreds of texts between you and Ms. McLean before you gave your phone to the police?
No, I don't.
Do you remember deleting the text from you and Ms. McLean?
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember deleting photographs or videos or FaceTime chats or anything like that?
No, I don't recall.
You knew that in 2020 that they got married in the Elvis Chapel in Las Vegas, right?
I guess they did it there, yes.
Yes, they did. Do you remember her texting you that they got married?
No, I don't recall getting a
Remember
text.
her texting you and you going with the exclamation points, congratulations, and going back and forth with texts about being married, don't tell anybody, things of that nature? She saying that to you?
No, I don't recall that, but
Okay.
if you have it on paper, then I guess it is.
Well, we'll see. Would you agree with me, sir, that you knew in your conversations with Harry, when you guys would maybe be sitting out by the pool having a cigar, he had a cigar, a drink or whatever, he confided in you that he made a huge mistake about getting married, didn't he?
He said that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember that.
But you knew that he was going to see a lawyer for a divorce, right?
I mean, this was so long ago.
That's long ago.
Your
But
Honor,
this is
could the
pretty
witness
important.
answer be allowed
I don't
to,
really remember conversations.
Hang on, sir. Go ahead.
may the witness be allowed to finish his answers?
Yes, just let him finish his answer. Mr. Reddington, please.
Of course.
All right.
Finish your answer. It's been long ago.
I don't know I don't even know where we're at.
All right, why don't you ask the question again, Mr. Reddington?
Back in June of 2019, sir, do you recall, well, let me back up. Can you describe for us what your understanding was of your relationship with Kathleen McLean in 2019?
Just a friend.
And you knew that she had moved in with her 3 children to Harry's house about a year and a half before that, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And you knew that they were not married, but they were obviously living together, right?
Yes.
And you knew in your conversations with Harry that was, she's living in his house as a living girlfriend, right?
I guess so, yes.
You guess so. Did you ever tell Harry that, for example, you would talk to her about getting laid doggy style?
Objection.
Sustained.
I don't recall that
Sustained.
conversation.
Sustained. You don't have to answer that, sir. Just wait for the objection, please.
Taking, for example, the number ending in 9407, that's Katie, correct?
That's what?
That's Katie's number, correct?
Yes.
We just went through that. And your number, sir, we went through, ends with the 4714, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, just like the DA, I'm going to approach you with,
Mr. Reddington, can you show Ms. Beatty, please?
I sent it to you.
No,
This is
I said the date.
page 24. I'm sorry?
I said the date, June 19th.
But there's hundreds of text messages.
Yeah, you know.
It's June 21st. May we approach?
to you, and Harry wasn't part of that conversation.
No.
I'd offer this, Your Honor.
Objection.
Sustained.
For the record, then, I'd like to offer this to, as part of the identification,
Okay, it is. It's O for
Yes.
identification.
all right? Do you recall that you would have conversations, text conversations with Ms. McLean about Donna? Donna was your girlfriend, right?
We were broken up at that time.
What time?
We were, I'm not sure exact time, but it was, I think the time frame, I think it was around that time.
Well, I'm just asking you around what time?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember.
Say 2000?
We were on and off. We were on and off for,
All right. Do you recall that Ms. McLean would ask you about the status of your relationship with Donna, whether or not you guys were an item in talking?
I think she did, yes.
Yeah. And do you recall describing to Ms. McLean that you really didn't have much of a relationship with Donna, right?
That I what?
Didn't have much of a relationship with Donna.
Then we must have been off then.
Do you recall that on one occasion she indicated to you, sir, in your text messages, anything about her forcing him to fuck her?
No, I don't recall that.
And again, 9407 blue would be her, 4714 green would be you, correct?
Okay.
Could I see that, Mr. Farthington, please?
Excuse me. Pardon me, I gotta show that to you. If you pull them up, I can tell you what page. Sure.
Okay. It's 45.
Take a look at that and tell us on the bottom of the balloons of whatever, what time frame we're talking about here.
6/21/19.
Okay? And I want you to read that to yourself. And does that refresh your memory about her communicating to you that she wanted to something about forcing him to fuck her?
Okay. I said, I don't know. Then I said,
What is that?
I don't know why, but no, you're not.
Okay, you're gonna have to keep your voice up and make sure the jurors can hear you, especially.
Oh, I said,
Just objection, just as to whether it refreshes his memory or not.
So ask him again if it refreshes his memory, Mr.
I'll ask you
Whittington.
again, does that refresh your memory, sir? It's actually-
well, I mean, reading it, I guess it does, but I don't remember the conversation, just what I see now.
Okay, so your memory, by looking at that document, is not refreshed, but you do agree that that document shows text communication between her phone and your phone, right?
Yep.
Yes?
Yep, it shows me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Your Honor, not as refreshing recollection, but he's obviously adopted the document I'd offered.
Objection,
Sustained.
So.
No, mark it for ID. You can mark it for ID.
Sir?
You can mark it for identification.
There'll be P for identification.
Thank you. Do you remember in the end of June, June 28th to be specific, page 60, on your phone, 4714 and 9407 between Ms. McLean and yourself, that she was asking you about whether or not you were with Donna? You indicated that Donna was leaving for Vermont, things of that nature, and then you inquired as to whether you were invited over.
Inquires if I was invited over?
Yeah. The middle balloon.
page, please.
I gave it to you, page 60.
Are you asking if that refreshes his recollection?
Yep, that refresh your
Okay,
recollection?
so read it to yourself, please.
So, does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. And then your recollection refresh would be what? You asked her what?
Objection.
What?
Objection.
Okay, overruled. He may answer it. He may answer it. Just ask it again, Mr. Reddington, please.
Does that refresh your memory as to what you indicated to her, what you said to her?
When I was coming over?
Yeah. Okay, when are you inviting me over?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so I can understand, are these always going to be excluded after everything you just said?
That, if you want to mark that for ID, you may.
Okay.
Q?
So that would refresh your memory as to the fact that there was a conversation at the end of June 2019. And again, Harry wasn't part of that conversation, was he?
He was not in the text.
Well. And you knew that in page 73. And I can get the plastic sleeves, but, well, if they're in ID, it doesn't matter. Do you recall, sir, at the very end of June 2019, having a text conversation with Ms. McLean, again, at the end of June 19, wherein she described it in graphic detail? 3 hours, fucking him every way, describing what they did. Remember that?
No, I don't remember
Did
that.
they tell you things like that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, she jokingly said things to us. She would just say things in front of us, I guess.
In front of us. Okay, who's us?
I mean, friends.
Friends.
Yeah.
What friends? These are texts between you and her, right?
Well, okay.
That's your phone and her phone, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have friends involved in that text thread, right?
No.
And you certainly weren't sitting with friends with Katie and making a joke about what she described for you, right?
Is there a question?
Yeah, I asked him a question. He was reading this.
I'm sorry,
Memory
I'm not
refreshed on
following.
it?
Yeah, I see that it's on there, yeah.
Okay. And what does that refresh your memory to that she said to you?
Objection.
Okay, does it, ask it again. Does that refresh your recollection as to that text conversation, sir?
Yes.
Okay, now ask the next question.
Okay? And what is your recollection now refreshed, sir?
What
Objection.
Overruled.
she said.
Okay, so what does your recollection refresh say that she said?
I literally just spent 3
You have to
hours.
slow down, make sure the jurors can hear you, sir.
I literally just spent 3 hours fucking him every way. His favorite too. He came twice, held me, telling me he loves me and not
I'm
to.
sorry, what was that? The last thing you just said?
Telling me he loves me and not to leave. This is like a soap opera.
Okay. And, do I do yours?
Yes.
Do you recall, in the middle of July, well, July 10th specifically, page 105, do you recall a text where you texted her at 4:30 in the afternoon and asked her to call you, and she said, yes, let me go outside? Do you remember that?
I don't remember it specifically, no.
Okay, so if it was like it wasn't late at night or anything, if Harry was home in the house and you called her, there were occasions that she would say, let me go outside to talk to you, right?
No, I don't recall if Harry was home or not.
Okay, but you recall that there were occasions when he would say, can you call me? And she'd say, yeah, let me go outside. Out of the house, right?
I guess so, yes.
Hopefully, I'm sure you don't guess. Age? Your balloon?
Okay.
Does that refresh your memory, sir?
Yeah, that we had that conversation, yeah.
That she wanted to go outside before she talked to you, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. What for ID?
S for identification.
And then on July 13th, 2019, sir, you called. This is around 7 o'clock at night. You said, are you alone? And you wanted to know, where is Harry? Do you remember that conversation?
Not towards what it was about, I have no idea.
Okay. Did you want to go over and hang out with Harry?
All the time I went there, I wanted to hang out with both.
Why didn't you call him? You guys are bros, you know?
We weren't bros.
No?
But a lot of time I talked to her because of the Reiki session, and she also has a kid.
The what? The Reiki session?
Yeah.
No, he did that once.
Yeah, but it was really important to me because it was my mother that died when I was 22.
Objection as to form.
Sustained.
I'm telling you why I
One
called
second.
hers, because I wanted to talk
Sir,
about.
you need to wait for the objection. It's
Sorry.
sustained. Rephrase the question, please.
When was the Reiki session?
I don't remember when it was. It was before.
I suggest to you, sir, that out of the hundreds of text messages between 2019 and 2020, you didn't talk once to her about Reiki on a text. What are you telling this jury? What about Reiki?
What am I telling what?
You just said to me it was about Reiki sessions.
No, I said that I talked to her about Reiki sessions.
Yeah, okay. In text?
No, by phone.
Oh, by phone. Okay, well, let's stay with the texts. She would tell you on a number of occasions that she was either drunk or wasted or trashed, were the expressions. Is that correct?
Objection.
Sustained. Next question.
Do you recall on July 20th of 2019, she indicated that she was drunk and you wanted to know if she was going to still be awake?
Objection.
No, overruled. That may stand. You can answer that, sir.
I'm sorry, Lisa, that would be page 145.
Okay.
Okay. Does that refresh your memory, sir?
Yeah?
Yeah? As to what?
That I asked that.
Okay, so she's told you in a text that she was literally drunk, right?
Yeah.
And your response was, oh, good, you're going to still be awake, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Were you going to talk about Reiki if she was still awake?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, how about Harry? Did you call him or say, hey, I'm coming over to talk about Reiki with your drunk?
Well, I'm sure that she would tell him that I was going to come over and talk to her about Reiki.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
T for identification.
Did you ever, to your knowledge, sir, have occasion to reach out to Harry's then girlfriend close to the August marriage date?
About the what?
Ask her, do you recall reaching out to her at the end of July, close to the alleged marriage date? You knew that they were serious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall at that time frame, sir, reaching out to her and asking her what she was wearing?
Oh, for the wedding?
No, what she was wearing, because she said that she was down in the beach.
No.
No?
I don't recall.
Okay.
That's what she was wearing.
Do you recall you randomly reached out to her and said, "What are you wearing?" And she said, "Bikini." I'm sorry, that's on page 175.
Okay.
Okay. Let me flip the page. Does that refresh your memory as to the conversation further, that you wanted to look at it?
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with Reiki?
No.
Did you know that Harry was there, or Harry was aware that you wanted to look at his wife or his girlfriend?
No, he was, yeah, I knew he was right there.
Okay. So was he aware, to your knowledge, that you wanted to know what he was wearing?
I have no idea.
Objection.
Wait, sustained.
You for identification.
And then on August 12th, sir, of 2019, and I'll ask you again, do you recall her calling or texting you and complaining that he had canceled the wedding?
They canceled it more than once, if I remember.
I'm asking
So I don't know it was that date, but
I'm asking you, sir, if you recall.
I guess that was one of them, yeah.
Right. Do you recall her indicating, sir, refresh your memory, page 179 and 180? On vacation, she was on the beach. Remember that conversation, and she told you about the wedding.
She said she found out that he canceled the justice
You
of the
gotta keep your
peace.
voice up, sir, so
Oh.
the rest of you.
She said just found out that he canceled the justice of the peace again.
Okay.
And I said, oh no. Your job is to remind me of this.
Your job is to remind me of this. Okay, and then what else, sir?
I said, okay. I can't believe I'm sitting here on the beach and was just told he canceled the justice of the peace he booked. And she said, oh, my fucking birthday.
Okay. And did you, to your knowledge, sir, chat with her further about him canceling the wedding, justice of the peace, and things of that nature?
No, I don't.
I mean, was that your business?
Say again?
Was that your business?
No, but she was telling me, I guess.
Right.
That would be V for identification.
Thank you.
B for
Hey, thank you.
Actually, do you recall that it was your fire department reverend that was the justice of the peace?
Do I recall that?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
Is your fire department reverend a justice of the peace?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Objection
All right,
relevance.
sustained. Sustained. That can be marked Friday if you want.
W for identification.
Now, sir, as time goes on, do you have any memory, sir, as to how many times that she, during that period of time, would ask you if you want to get drunk with her?
No, I don't recall.
There were times, though, right?
What?
There were times that she would ask you, come over, let's get drunk, things of that nature.
I don't recall
How
that.
about her sending you pictures of a sundress that she said was short? You remember that?
Yeah, it was. I think it was a wedding dress or something cut up,
Cut up the wedding dress.
something like that.
And she said that it was what, if you recall?
I don't know.
Do you remember asking her about, because she said it was short, and you asked her how short, right?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I don't know why.
You don't know why, okay. And she showed you a picture of it, right?
I think she did. Yes.
And then you then said, looks nice, do you recall?
Yeah.
And as time went by, do you recall in August 25 of 2019, having a text about her being angry with him? I'm sorry, it's 2:58,
What's the date, Mr. Reddington?
August 25, 2019.
Objection. Just the form of the question. There's no statement that,
I'll rephrase the question. I'm going to show you your balloons and her balloons, August 25 of 19. Ask if that refreshes your memory as to her state of mind and her confiding in you.
objection.
Overruled. You may answer it. Does that refresh your recollection as to a text conversation?
Yes.
I think we better approach, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll approach. If you want to stand, by all means.
For identification.
Now, sir, approaching you with the, what's been marked X for identification, and you read this to yourself, correct? You read this to yourself?
Yes.
Okay, and listen to my question. She's confiding in you or telling you that she didn't care that she caught him lying about contacting that ex sucks, is what she told you, right?
Yes.
Okay. The end of August 25 of 2019, do you recall text messages between the two of you where she was running away, going wild and having fun, getting drunk, and you wanted to find out what that meant, and then she sent you a picture of herself in a bathing suit? Any memory of that at all? 286. There. Take a look at that to yourself. Okay, that refresh your memory?
Yep.
You recall that in the course of that text message that she sent you a photograph of herself in a bathing suit?
Yes.
Okay. Was Harry involved in that conversation?
Not on that text.
Was he there when she was texting you?
Say again?
Was she there when she was texting you?
Was he there?
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess.
In other words, did you know, or to your knowledge in your discussions, texting with Katie McLean, that her live-in boyfriend, where she's living with him, was there while you were texting, and she's sending you pictures of herself in the bikini?
I don't know if he was there or saw it. I have no idea.
Did you ever talk to Harry about, hey, she's looking pretty good, I've seen some pictures of her in a bikini, or in the short skirt?
No.
Identification.
Thank you.
Would you agree, sir, that at the end of September in 2019, you had met up with her, this would be page 323, and she conveyed to you the fact that she was so effing trashed, she doesn't remember. Well, that's it.
No.
Objection.
Sustained. Sustained.
Well, I'd like to have that marked for identification. And obviously, Your Honor, I have a standing objection to the rule.
Okay,
right?
marked for ID.
Thank you.
Z for identification.
You recall that when the two of you were together at that time, that she was concerned that she, while drunk, said something to you about cheating. Do you remember that conversation?
What time?
3:30.
No, what date, Mr. Reddington?
26, 2019.
I'm sorry, 9/26?
Yes, 2019.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, do you recall that you were with her and she was drunk and told you that she was so effing trashed, and then explained further about asking you whether or not she said anything about cheating while drunk?
I see that text, but I don't know what it refers to.
You see the text, but you don't know what it refers to. Would you agree, sir, that she basically indicated that she was with you? Yes?
No, I don't think she was with me. We were texting.
Okay. she's talking about something that happened like the previous day, that she was so trashed she doesn't remember it, and asked you if I said anything about cheating.
Objection as to form.
Okay, overruled. He may answer it.
You remember that? Does that refresh your memory?
No, I don't recall that situation.
Okay, and then you responded to the text about the cheating, I know, and then you indicated, does he know where you were?
I know, but I don't think it was with me.
So your memory is refreshed, you're texting with her about being with her that she was so trashed, and asks you whether she said anything about cheating, and then indicates that, and you then respond, does he know where you were? Right?
Yeah, but I don't recall the situation.
You remember where you were? You must have a memory of if you guys were in a car or in a party or somewhere.
I don't recall.
1 second. 1 second. Sustain. Next question.
And is that 8A for identification?
Would you?
Double A.
Yes.
Do you recall the end of September, September 29th, 2019, that she called you and asked if you can talk? You said by phone, and she indicated Harry's leaving in 20 minutes. Does that refresh your memory at all, sir?
No, I mean, it's on there. I don't know what it was referred to.
September 29th, sir, of 2019. Do you recall, after she inquired as to whether you could, this is 364, that you could, whether you could talk, and you indicated by phone, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. And she then went to describe fucking and indicated that boundaries were set and he broke them.
Objection. May we approach?
Yes. BB for ID.
Double B.
Would you agree, sir, that there were a number of text messages spanning the period of time from the end of September into the middle of middle of October 2019, where she would repeatedly ask you If you could talk, you would repeatedly ask her, "Where's Harry?" And then you would chat. You would chat on text messages. Do you recall that?
I don't recall where they were. I have no idea.
Okay, so without going through each and every single text where you would ask, "Where's Harry?" Do you have any memory at all, sir, in that time frame of being concerned where Harry was before you texted with her?
No.
In October, the end of October 2019, sir, do you recall where she indicated, again, that he was at a restaurant in Boston, a woman she told you about?
Did I recall that he was at a restaurant?
Yeah, she told you that she was at a restaurant in Boston, and that he was at a restaurant in Boston with the woman I caught him with. You then said, "Please call me."
Mr. Redding, could we have a page?
Sorry. What page is it?
413 and 20.
So focus on 413.
Again?
Let's focus on 413. Does that refresh your memory?
That. Yes, I'm going to lose it on him, that list.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm going to lose it on him, that list. He was at a restaurant with a Boston woman I caught him with. I mean,
So you recall that, right?
well, now that I'm seeing it, yep.
All right.
CC for identification.
The end of October, October 27th of 2019, do you recall calling, this would be 428, "How's it going?" And you were told to swing by for a drink today. Recall that?
No.
Do you recall going over and drinking with her when Harry wasn't there?
No, I don't think I did.
Do you recall, this would be page 376, oh, wait a minute. Do you recall that she indicated to you that after they were married, we talked about, you knew that they got married, right?
Yes.
Do you recall, and I'm looking at page 591, December 28th of 2019 would be a week or 2 weeks after they got married. Do you recall her indicating to you that he wanted an annulment?
No, I didn't, I wasn't told that.
So again, looking at page 591, her phone ending 9407, yours ending in 4714. Recall her indicating he wants an annulment. Literally just said it. It's like 2 weeks after they get married.
I see that she said that, yep.
Okay, so that refreshes your memory. She did say that to you,
Yes.
right? Okay. And you knew, sir, that
Double D for identification.
you knew that they had basically been together for other than the 2 years after she met him and moved into his house after 5 months, that they got married in December, and she's telling you that he wanted an annulment like 2 weeks after the wedding, right? She was upset about that, right?
I guess so, yes.
Yeah? Do you recall on February 22nd of 2020, and by the way, you knew he was out of the house by order of the court because she got a restraining order against him on February 3rd of 2020, right? Come on, you knew he was
Yes.
out of the house, right?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Sustained.
He was out of the house because of a restraining order that she got, right?
I guess that's why he was out, yes.
Objection. May he finish his answers, please?
You have to ask it again, Mr. Remington?
Sure, she told you that, right?
Told me that he asked her, that she asked her. I'm sorry, say again.
Sure. You know that on February 3rd, at the beginning of the month of February, she got a restraining order and Harry was thrown out of his house, right?
I know that it happened, but I don't recall how I,
But do you recall texting him and asking him how he's doing? And he said, I got thrown out of my house?
yeah, when he was in Florida?
Well, that was after he had nowhere to stay. You knew that, right?
Yeah,
And he was asking people if he could stay with them and was scared because of the pandemic, right?
right,
And was saying that he needed shelter, correct?
yes,
He was reaching out to various friends or acquaintances, right?
yes,
And that would be including you, right?
yes,
You recall, sir, in April 22nd of 2020, page 29, on the Curt and Harry text messages, that you asked how he's doing and, you know, does he have hope? And his response was, I wish there was a little more than hope. And then he said, hey, Curt, let her know I'm more or less living on the street soon. I really need a safe shelter. The basement of my house would be safe, but she would need to take some actions. I don't want to die of COVID-19. As Massachusetts is getting worse, I have little protection. Do you remember that?
yes.
And your response was okay.
I guess it was, yeah.
So he had asked you whether he could live with you or move into your house, and you indicated that, well, you know, I got the kids, and let's go out to dinner soon, is your response.
Okay.
So you knew he went to Florida.
Did he go to Florida then?
I don't know, I'm asking you, you knew that
Well, if he
had
was
not-
looking for me to give him a place of shelter,
Right, did you give him a place to shelter?
no.
Okay. But you were concerned for him, right?
Yeah,
And you knew that he had been thrown out of the house in the beginning of February.
okay,
And you were in touch with Ms. McLean at that point from there on, right?
yes,
And you knew that Harry was looking for shelter and you couldn't help him out, that's okay, right?
no, I could not.
So on February 22nd, right after that, and this would be page 827, do you recall texting her in the morning and stating, I'm really, you know what, this morning? She says, what? And you say, horny. Remember that?
Not really.
Okay. Page 827. See if that refreshes your memory, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Does that refresh your memory, sir, that you texted her and began a conversation stating something to the effect that you woke up horny, basically?
Yeah, it was just joking.
Come back.
It was just joking around.
Are you joking around?
Yeah,
Where
she.
was Harry when you were doing that, joking around?
Huh?
Huh? Where was Harry when you were joking around doing that?
I don't know.
He was in Florida.
Objection form.
Sustained.
You knew he was thrown out of the house. This is February 22nd.
All right, why don't we take, let's break for the day.
Your Honor, if I may, EE for identification.
All right, sir, you may step down. All right, so jurors, we're going to break for the day. Let me just give you the instructions again. You need to keep an open mind, right? Don't form any judgments or conclusions, etc. You haven't heard all the evidence yet. You are not to talk about any aspect of this case to anyone. That includes spouses, family, friends, acquaintances, and whomever else. Do not talk to any of the witnesses or parties or attorneys involved in this case. Do not stop in any public areas of the courthouse. Just leave the courthouse when I dismiss you for the day. Do not read, watch, or listen to any account or any aspect of this case in any news media or from any other source. And do not visit the locations that were mentioned that we visited this morning. Okay, that's what the view is for, so you are not permitted to go back to any of those locations. Again, the reason I keep giving you these instructions is because you have to decide this case based only on the evidence that's presented in this courtroom and on nothing else. Right? The instructions that I just gave to you apply to any case in this building, including the Karen Reed case. All right, with that, I'm going to wish you a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. We'll start at 9 a.m. We're going to do a half-day Monday, and as of right now, we're going to do a full day on Tuesday. I'll let you know about Wednesday when you come in Monday. Okay, just remember for scheduling purposes again, April 3rd and April 4th, we are not sitting, so you can keep your obligations on those days. I will talk to the attorneys about updating on the schedule again on Monday. That is whether we're ahead of schedule, on schedule, or behind schedule. I'll have that information for you on Monday. All right, so thank you for your time, your sacrifice, and your patience today. We'll see you on Monday morning.
Sure, is everything all right? Jurors, please leave your notebooks in the chairs. Follow me, please. You may be seated.
Okay, counsel, anything before the break?
Thank you.
Commonwealth?
Oh, thank you.
All right, we will see you on Monday morning. Have a nice weekend.
Oh, Your Honor, is there a, sorry, I know I said no.
That's okay.
Is there a possibility that we could just switch on Monday? Courtrooms?
I will check.
Thank you.
And
I think they're off until Tuesday. If I could run, I think the Karen Reed case is not starting until Tuesday.
correct, but Ms. Beatty's asking if we can switch Monday.
Why?
Because of the concern that the